And
Okay. So you do have a very good, business, I would say business experience, though it is in non-IT, but you have had, very long and successful career. So thank you so much for sharing this with us, Dave. So I'll just want to have a quick check. We all have, there is anyone who is attending for the first time apart from Dave? No, right? Yeah, yeah. Saundarya, Nagi, and
No.
Madhavan. Yeah, yeah. You all are there in the class, right? From earlier. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Sometimes the names are similar, right? So we prefer to cross check. Give me a second. I had sent a reminder in the group. Okay, so I think today Anita and JB is not joining because they aren't well. Fine. So let me just start my screen. And just one disclaimer, especially to Dev, that Dev, as you know, this is a recurring class. That means we keep revising or going back to the same syllabus over and over again. So that means you have not missed anything. So I'm glad that you did not wait for the new batch to get started, because we cover entire syllabus, once the earlier topics are over. So just for your benefit, wanted to highlight that whatever we have taught will be taught to you again. So you won't be missing on anything. And also, as a Guru School's policy, you are very much welcome to attend the next batch whenever it will start after completing this. So you can also have your revised session. Make sense?
yes, absolutely. I have I've had some time to go over the last three
Mm-hmm.
sessions.
Oh, great.
I got a hang of it, but obviously live
Great.
introduction is much better compared to watching the videos. But I got a hang of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing that. And why we have these sessions interactive? We could have easily given you, I would say, recorded videos like the way you have on YouTube. So what is the advantage of this video is we generally have two trainers. So myself, Prerna, and along with Gaurav is always there. So today, for some reasons, he is not part of this session, but that's fine. Some in some of the exceptional basis, sometimes we carry on on a single trainer, but generally both of us are there, and it's always an interactive session. So this, I think, other people all know. Just for highlighting to Dave that we talk a lot in the session, and we want you guys to speak up, to share your experiences, to share your doubts or share your ideas, so that is the main reason to have this class live. So whatever doubts you have, whatever you want to speak up, even you want to share something, this is the platform to do that. Okay. So before we start, I would like to give a quick, rather a very quick intro of myself. So I'm Prerna. I have been working in IT for more than 16 years now. I completed my master's in computer applications from Mumbai University in the year 2008. And since then, I have been fortunate enough to work in almost all the life cycle, software development life cycle phases. So I started as a .NET developer. I got into team management. Then I got into project management. I have successfully delivered, two of the, in one of the organization, I had worked with two Indian banks for their respective websites, one for mutual fund, one for housing loans. And then I have worked for a majority of MNCs, you name it, I've been there, wherein got the opportunity to work in different domains like human resource, audit, banking, mutual funds. And then after project management, I even worked as a project management office in one of the leading Indian bank. And currently I'm working in an international MNC on a similar role wherein I'm managing projects on Agile and looking after the various BAU activities. So this is my introduction. Along with that, teaching is my passion. I love to, share and impart knowledge that I have or the experience that I've gathered. And I think Guru Schools is one of the best platforms wherein, okay, we have Amit. Give me a second. I'll just uh, add him. Yeah, yeah. So wherein, I can share my knowledge, I can share, or I can actually be a part of this audience or this group wherein, sorry, you all are so keen and enthusiastic to learn. So just before we start about Agile life cycle, can I just request any of you, except Dev, being his first time, can you guys explain what is agile, or when I'm saying agile life cycle, I mean, just out of nowhere, if somebody is like Dev attending for the first time, for them, how would you explain what is agile? Anyone, just a one liner or a couple of words that comes to your mind, a couple of sentences if you wish to. I will definitely explain, but this is just your platform if you want to add.
Agile is a methodology that is used in software development life cycle to deliver valuable softwares.
Very well. It is a methodology, absolutely right. Can you just throw some more light onto this? Methodology in what, and in how is the pattern, or if you are aware about waterfall methodology, then can you just share a couple of lines in the form of comparisons? Yes? No?
Yeah, so the waterfall model has a, is a traditional model wherein we compare
Mm-hmm.
agile to it. So it delivers uh, in a continuous iteration model wherein
Mm-hmm.
waterfall doesn't do it. That is a major difference. Mm,
Okay, right.
yeah. Uh, we always have incremental releases in agile model.
Very well use of the right term, incremental releases. Yes.
So
And others are also welcome, by the way. I'm just asking her. So, yes, everybody who wants to add something, please feel free. Go ahead.
so
Eh,
uh,
Agile methodology also includes Scrum, Kanban, and uh, the other program like we
Mm-hmm.
have the XP. So the
Mm-hmm.
advantage which we have is like faster as compared to the traditional methodology which we were adopting, and it helps in giving the milestone update to the customers on time, and it has improved the team
Okay.
collaboration and communication,
Mm-hmm.
more of flexibility
Okay.
and adaptability.
Now, these are
I
also a good keywords. Yes.
I could just
Adaptability
add
and flexibility.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
add on to that. We can also say that agile is a foundation, and the frameworks like Kanban, Scrum, and other popular frameworks are the pillars to it, something like that.
I will add to that. So, Agile is a project management philosophy. Like, it's a process we use in a software
Yes.
development lifecycle to make the whole process
Yes.
more easy, and to make the whole delivery more productive, without going
Mm-hmm.
back and wasting time and losing the revenue. So
Mm-hmm.
we can deliver product incrementally, like in a shortest time, rather than taking more time and delivering the whole product in a whole.
Okay. Quite well
also,
explained. Yeah, the gist. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
You want something
Agile
to
also
add?
welcomes the changes in any phase. So that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the important feature of Agile methodology.
Any phase or any sprints?
Any sprints, I mean any phase. I'm sorry.
Why phase? I'm just highlighting again. Do we use phase or do we use the term sprints?
Here in Agile, it is sprints. In waterfall, it is phase.
Perfect. In waterfall, we don't agree, accept. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else? Someone was adding. So thank you so much, Soundarya and Madhavan, I think. I don't know who had added earlier. So yeah, any more
Can I get in?
mm-hmm.
So the word incremental, does it mean like in like well, as you say, sprint, so like small pieces of software, like small parts of it, and not the whole
Absolutely
software?
right.
Okay,
Absolutely right.
increment.
Yes. So they do is just like a quick revision wherein I just want to understand overall others' understanding. I just want to know where we stand from the learning point of view and also a very quick, simple revision to you. So I will explain this before getting into today's topic. So don't worry. I just wanted to get a hang of where we are from others' point of view. So I was checking that. So before we start into that, first of all, thank you so much for your input. You all were correct. You have used really good keywords. So just giving a gist of this overall discussion that we had. So first of all, now particularly this is a revision for you, Dave. I'm glad that you have watched the videos, but for taking that as a reference, we can go ahead now. Uh, in earlier, I would say earlier times when the software development was used for simpler softwares like maybe a simpler website or any other application, maybe for colleges and schools, and not for complex systems like I would say medical or even for a rocket trajectory and stuff like that. So when the use of softwares and computers was for simpler products and applications, that time we had a typical software development methodology which was called as waterfall. Now, what is the characteristics of waterfall? That it just flows in one direction, right? It just flows from top to bottom. That means you will have a continuous flow of the waterfall. So in same manner, the overall work, I would say, style of the or methodology style of the waterfall was everything was discussed like it was linear. It was in one line. So starting with requirement gathering, that is what the customer wants, then the design analysis, then the design and the development. That means customer was just involved in the initial phase. Like if we have to give a example, so imagine this 2024 year. In January, you being like you guys being the customer, guys go on mute, please, as the recording is going on. So at the end, at the beginning of the 2024 year, like in January, you had given some set of requirement, or you just want some website. Like for example, if you are a local farmer, or if you are a plant enthusiastic and you want to start that business, you want to sell your saplings and plants online, and you want to have that kind of website. So you have given those requirement to the I would say organization in January, okay? And then after that, the organization will evaluate, analysis, design, and work on that. And then as per the waterfall strategy, per se 15 months. Just imagine it is a big website, okay? Just for hypothetical reasons, understanding reasons. So January we had the discussion and we got the requirement. February per se it all went into analysis. March and April went into designing, 2 months in detail, you know. June, July, August is still kind of development, 3 months, June, July, August, even August per se, 4 months into development, and assuming it's a bigger website and bigger functionality. So September, October again went into testing. After designing, we have testing. And then November and December, we did that UAT, like client testing. And then December, we are planning to release it to the customer. So do you see from January till December, the customer did not have any other say or any other involvement into the project. So imagine there are changes in market trends, changes in customer demand, changes in, some requirements. Those will not be entertained or catered. And when the customer sees the final product in December, they are anyways taken aback or shocked that okay, this is not what we had wanted. Getting my point? So that's why for earlier simpler projects this was working, but then in real life dynamic situation as per current scenario, this is not that effective. So that's why we are not working on waterfall methodology again. So Dave, did you understand when we say waterfall methodology, that means it's linear. We do not have any discussions in between. We just continue what was given to us, and then ultimately we give the result after a very long time, which might not be what the customer was expecting. Make sense? What about others, guys? Quick revision of
Yes.
waterfall method. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. Okay. Now let us understand Scrum in comparison with waterfall. Okay. So by the way, we will learn about agile life cycle in a concept, what's the scope, how the inception happens, how we have iterations of design, and how we'll go ahead with release or deployment, how we can maintain and then ultimately retire or close or even relaunch the Scrum sprints. Okay. So we will go to that. So before going to that, let me just give you a quick understanding of agile. So I think I have the images. Give me a second. No, this is the simplest image I have. Okay. I'll just encase this for our understanding. Yes. Is the image readable now, guys? Yeah. In sprint 3, is it readable?
Absolutely.
Can you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So here, if you could see it, first of all, it is spiral. That means it is gonna repeat itself. It is gonna reiterate. Yes. So herein, if you could see, we are starting from the below. It's planning. Then the second phase is implementation. Then it's review. And the last step with that arrow mark ending is a retrospective. And then even in implementation, we have a small curve in a smaller circle again, that is a daily stand-up meeting. So in short, before getting into detail, because we will learn these events in super detail in upcoming session, let us know how this sprint or scrum is handled or managed or performed. So as we learn about waterfall life cycle methodology, we got to understand its drawbacks, right? Though that means there is no intervention by the customer. There are no in between discussions. In case if there are any changes, those will not be entertained. And it's a very simpler methodology wherein we are not looking at any dynamic changes or there is no involvement from the customer. It's like everybody is working in silos and stuff like that. So we are not looking at that in current scenario. In Scrum, we talk to the customer on regular basis, ad hoc basis, depending on the customer demands, and then there is a pattern wherein we work in sprints. So now sprint is a time interval of completing a development work items. Those are called as product backlog. So those can be starting from 1 week till 4 week or even to 8 weeks. The popular time duration is generally 2 to 4 weeks. So that means you have 2 weeks means you have 10 working days. In 10 working days, all the work that has been committed or promised to the customer, that development work will be delivered to the customer. Okay. So in that 2 week cycle, this circle, as you can see, right, guys? This planning, implementation, review, and retrospect. So this entire, these all phases are implemented in that duration of, I would say, 2 weeks. Okay. So now this is, I think, enough on the understanding agile, though, we will keep revisiting this concept because that's what we are learning in detail. But then let us get started on today's topics. Okay. So we know that these are the topics for today's discussion. Let us go ahead. Now here you will learn everything in detail. Okay. So can I request three different people to read out the three paragraphs mentioned under the sprint planning? We will be learning in detail about what is sprint planning. Yeah, go ahead.
Sprint planning is an event in the Scrum framework where the team determines the product backlog items they will work on during that sprint and discusses their initial plan for completing those product backlog items.
Thank you so much. So let's go one paragraph wise. So what it means is, first of all, product backlog means the entire set of requirements. Those are kept in a product backlog, I would say. I mean, all these requirements which are given by the customer are mentioned as a product backlog, and that is, or that repository is managed and maintained by the product owner. Okay. So that is like your complete set of requirements. And from that, you take out some requirements. So product backlog is like the major entire set, and from that you take a subset that is called as a sprint backlog. So for simplicities, for easier understanding, it's like if you have 100 requirements or 100 functionalities to be developed as per given by the customer, out of which you take only 10 functionalities for the existing sprint, and that will be called as a sprint backlog. Whereas the remaining 90 work items or requirements will be still part of a product backlog. Easy to understand, guys? Yes? Any doubt in what is product backlog, what is sprint backlog?
No.
No.
No, everyone? Yeah? Perfect. So it's as simple as that. If you were studying in school and if you had per se 10 subjects, for the simplicity's sake, like we actually did have 9 to 10 subjects. If we kind of bifurcate between politics and geography and history and everyone individually, at least in India, we had like 9 to 10 subjects. Yes. So when you have 10 subjects, it is like your product backlog. Okay. So from that subject, from those subjects, if you take off few chapters from each subjects, then that becomes your sprint backlog. So it is like for every unit test, you were studying 4 chapters, right? Or 4 or 5 chapters. Do you remember, guys? Yes. In total, you might have had 20 chapters. Yes, no?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So same way, kind of breaking down the requirements, or going chunk by chunk or going in a smaller, I would say, quantity. So same way from product backlog, we take out some of the work items, some of the requirements, and they become your sprint backlog. Yeah. Next point, please.
Teams may find it helpful to establish a sprint goal and use that as the basis by which they determine which product backlog items they work on during that sprint.
Now, this is very, very easy and very important. So what it says is it is helpful for the team to understand what is a sprint goal. Okay. So as I was explaining, for unit test, you only have, or say, five, I would say, chapters, right? So now all the 5 chapters from all these subjects, completing that, or completing a specific, I would say, uh, any example or any solution from maths, that becomes your sprint goal. So any typical functionality or set of functionalities that you have promised or committed to the customer to be delivered in this current sprint, that becomes a sprint goal. Always remember this, okay? So we are kind of, when we agree to the sprint, we agree to deliver sprint goal as well. Yes. So that's a sprint goal, and then that should be delivered, that should be completed. It should be in working condition in the existing sprint. That is what we're looking. Yeah. Next point.
The purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work will be achieved. Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. The what? The product owner describes the objective or goal of the sprint and what backlog items contribute to that goal.
Yes. Now, what it is mentioned here, that the entire team, entire development team, or everybody who is involved in the team is required to, confirm or to come to a conclusion of the sprint goal. So product owner simplifies, or he takes out the, or he mentions the product backlog item. And from then the development team decides. See, ultimately development team is your team who will be working on a project on the grassroots level. Like they'll be actually doing the development, they'll be preparing the website or web application, they'll be doing the database connection. They are the people who will be managing all the work. Okay. So that's why it is important to always, I would say, check with them or to run through them to ensure that, because see, imagine if as a product owner I commit something to the customer that okay, we will complete this functionality, or we will complete this website, for example, okay, this part of the website. And then when I discuss internally with my development team and we realize that there is a roadblock, there is some complexity, there is some technical challenge, that's why this cannot be developed or completed. So this kind of things can happen and may happen. That's why we need to ensure that everyone, especially product owner, is aware about, because see, Scrum Master works very closely with the Scrum team or with the development team. So he or she is aware about the situation, about the problems, or about their capabilities. On the other hand, product owner is not so closely working with the development team. He is closely working with the I would say Scrum Master, which is also fine, right? So that's why it's good to have everybody in the meeting and then discuss on the deliverables, so that will give clarity to I would say product owner as well as to the team, that okay, these are our this is our sprint goal, and this we need to continue and complete. Yeah, makes sense, guys. So when we say what, that means which all functionality that we will be completing in this sprint. So everybody just glance through this slide once again. Do we have any doubts in this? Please
Can I
feel
ask a
free to
couple of
ask.
questions very quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Uh,
Yeah.
you guys probably know all of them, but since I missed it, the product backlog, it's like a requirement listed by the client or
Ye-
the customer. Is it?
Yes,
It's a
yes,
requirement, right?
yes.
So I understood it correctly.
Yes. Yes, so it is a terminology used for all, the entire set of requirements. In simpler words, as we were taking the example of school studies, like, so your entire year's syllabus is like a product backlog item. Like, entire years, I'm saying. So entire year is compared to a entire project. So your entire year's syllabus is like your project backlog item. And from that, you take out some of the study or some of the work items for each exam. So here the exam is equivalent to the sprint. For first unit test, you might work on the 5 chapters. The semester you might work on the next 5 chapters and stuff like that. So same way, product backlog item is the I generally called as Gita Bible Quran. So it's like the place wherein you'll get all the requirements, and from that you'll take out some of the requirements for each sprint. So the easiest number to remember is understand that you have a set of 100 requirements, and from that you take out 10 requirements in each sprint. Okay. So you kind of tend to complete them on incremental basis. And in the next sprint, you will go to the next 10 work items or next
Right.
10 backlog yeah, items. Yeah.
Got it.
Any further doubts, guys? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay. Okay, now let us understand who is involved in the sprint planning. Yeah, can we go one by one and somebody else can also read it out so we will understand that everybody is involved? Go ahead.
Sprint planning typically involves the entire team.
Perfect. Yeah. Next point.
A product owner identifies the candidate product backlog items and their related priorities as well as proposes a sprint goal.
This is a very important point. And I will go point by point. So
Okay.
product owner identifies, that means he is the one who checks and who ensures that what are the candidate product backlog items, means what are the backlog items as per the customer requirements or customer asks. So in this sprint, customer is so imagine now these are the typical examples which I give, which are very easy to visualize. So just hypothetically imagine we are working on a website which is a look-alike website of Amazon.com. Yeah. Is there anyone who has not used Amazon till now? Yes, no, everybody knows Amazon.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, guys, unmute and say yes, no, in case you don't know. Yeah, everyone. Okay, so I assume everyone has at least once used Amazon.com. So do you know how huge that website is? And you have so many sections. So same way, I'm not getting into the details. The same way we might want to work on that kind of website. So imagine so for that, let us go ahead with one category. So, so we want to kind of, deliver a sports category in this sprint. So all kind of outdoor, indoor sports, that a customer should check and they should be able to uh, add to the cart and make the payment. So do the complete transaction. So this is our sprint goal. Okay. So after the entire Amazon.com website, in this sprint, we have to focus on developing the sports category, if I have to call it. Yes. Next point, please. Yeah.
The team members determine how many of the product backlog items they forecast they will be able to complete and determine how they will deliver those product backlog items.
Easy to understand. So, we have decided what are the work items, and then the team would plan about how they are, estimating or planning to deliver these work items. So the team members, see, first of all, it's the development team members who need to be consulted for this work because they are the ultimate people who will be working on the development or who will be working on the implementation, right? So that's okay if the product owner manages and owns the product backlog items. But then as a team, as the grassroots level people working on the actual requirements, the team should confirm about the feasibility and even priority. So that means if we want to develop something, so prior to that we need. So it's like having this Amazon.com. Tell me how you can access Amazon.com. How do you go to the website? Anyone?
It's an app. You just click on it.
Okay. Now that's the easiest way. It's an app and you click on it. But then when
It's
you
a tick.
click on it to make a purchase, do you need to be signed in or you just make a
You need to have
purchase
an
just like
account.
that?
You need to have
Very
an
well
account.
said. Yeah. So first of all, you need to have an account. Very well said. So you need to have an account. For that, you have a user ID and password,
Yes.
Yes.
and that is validated by Amazon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that's where I was coming to. So to even deliver this functionality, we need to ensure that as users, you have a user ID or password, right? Which is already authenticated and validated by the Amazon. And once you put in correctly, because that is stored in Amazon database. And once you, while trying to log in, once you put in that correctly, then only you are given the rights to access the Amazon.com app or website. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes or no, guys? Yes, this is
Got
the
it.
background.
Yes.
I just mentioned in a very swift manner. But then on the similar grounds, if we are developing the similar functionality, so in that scenario also you should all have your login and your user ID password, and you can uh, switch to, or you can connect to your account. So even all these requirements are part of your sprint goal, because ultimately if you don't complete them, you will not be able to achieve the sprint goal of achieving the, I would say, sports category development. Yes. So imagine now this is also one of the requirement, and then only development team can tell that, because they have the idea about the functionality and about the technicalities of the application. Yeah. So this is the way we kind of try to understand what all things or items are need to be developed. Yeah. Next point, please.
A Scrum Master
Yes.
or coach typically facilitates sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussion is effective and that there is agreement to
Mm-hmm.
the sprint goal and that the appropriate product backlog items are included in the sprint backlog.
Now here, if you can see the poor product or the poor Scrum Master, I call him poor because he is the one who just runs around almost everyone, who is, there to ensure to connect the dots. He is the bridge between product owner and the development team. He is the guide and mentor to the development team. So same way, what we are saying is that a product owner or the coach, he will facilitate the sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussions are effective. That means when we have the sprint planning event, it's duty of product owner to ensure that the discussion is going in the right direction, and we are kind of working towards the sprint goal, or appropriate work items are considered as per the sprint goal. So if you want to complete the sports section in Amazon.com, then related to that activities needs to be picked up, or related to that product backlog needs to be, I would say, implemented. So that is ultimately is the responsibility of product owner, but to identify the correct backlog items to ensure that we are correctly, you know, taking out the proper or perfect requirements, Scrum Masters and development teams intervention is required. Yes or no? So
Yes.
any doubts in this particular slide, guys? Please feel free to ask anyone. Yeah, or you want to add something to this?
Hi.
I know this is plain. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Uh, I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
it's okay.
understand it correctly. This, they have a lot of there are a lot of fancy words. But when you understand the meaning of it, the
Mm-hmm.
meaning is very, very simple. But I'm just trying to. I want to make sure I got it right. The product owner, is it like a project manager, or he's the one who deals with the client, the customer directly, or he's the one who
Okay.
brings the
So
project?
yeah, so thank you for the question. So in Scrum, we don't have this term as project manager, first of all. So I'll give you a very quick and simplest example which seems to work and which kind of makes your understanding easy. So there are these two, I would say, rules that we have along with development team. So first of all, development team means everyone who is working towards development. So that has your developers, your software developers, programmers, coders that we call it. It also has testers. It also has business analysts or BAs that you're preparing yourself for, and it also has other team members who are required for the project. Like if there is any particular niche skill that only very few employees are aware of, and your friend works, on your, some. So those are also part of your development team because they are will be ultimately developing on that or working on the actual requirement. So that is your development team. Okay, so BAs, analyst, developers, testers, architects. So these all are called as development team. Okay, always remember this. Second, you have a Scrum Master who is very closely working with the development team, who has daily stand-up meetings with them, wherein we understand what the team has worked in earlier 8 hours, what are they planning for next 8 hours, and in case if they have any impediments or doubts. So that is in a rule of Scrum Master to be very closely associated with the development team and mentor them, ensure that their development work is going on smoothly. In case they have any doubts, guide them and things like that. And then we have the, I would say, role of a product owner that you had asked, who is he a project manager? So now the product owner is a person who might be allotted multiple projects at one time. See, Scrum Master is dedicated for one project. Okay, he is generally not shared because there are a lot of activities going on. His intervention needs to be there, majority of the time. So yes, but then a product owner, he might have some other projects allotted, and he is definitely a lot senior, and then he has a product backlog to handle, and then he is the one who kind of involves and connects with all the stakeholders. Now, stakeholder means everyone who has a stake or I would say interest in the project. So he's the one who talks to the customer on regular basis. He's the one who has to give updates to the senior management about the project status or progress. He's the one who manages all the I would say higher level decisions for the team. So to make this easy to understand, I have a very quick and simple example. So all of us, have been to school. So in the school, we had multiple subjects, right, and multiple teachers. But all of us had one class teacher allotted. Yes or no?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, for each class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can just unmute and speak. Yes. So can you tell me one by one person, one answer only? Can you tell me what were the activities of the class teacher? One by one, please.
To take attendance.
To,
Mm-hmm. Next.
Check the homework.
Very well said. Yes. Check the homework. Though that is also kind of, I would say, surrogated or given to the monitors for checking. But yes, attendance, homework,
Re-
and
Responsible for the whole class. Uh,
to, uh, to closely move
responsible for classes behavior.
yeah.
Yes.
to closely move with the students, each student maybe.
So we are trying to say that the class teacher will have interaction with each student, right?
Yeah.
Their
He.
problems or they'll come up to them. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in short, can we say that that your class teacher is the one who is connected with you on day in day out basis? They know what are your strengths. They know when you where you're lacking, and they are the one like your mentor that whom you reach out to? Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So in this scenario, we have a class teacher. Now there is always a principal in the school, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then what are the I mean, if I may ask, if you're aware, what are the responsibilities of the principal?
So, attending board meetings with the board of directors or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To make
Mm-hmm.
sure that the entire school is functioning properly. Basically, she's like in charge of all the classes and sections.
Yes, now this is a perfect answer. So he or she is kind of having access to all the classes and sections, and they have the visibility, higher visibility. They can also reach out to other stakeholders. So having the same example, imagine Scrum Master being your class teacher. He or she is connected with you on day in, day out basis. You reach out to them for any doubts, you reach out to them for any confusion that you have or explanation that you need. So they are like, your class teacher is like your Scrum Master, whereas the product owner is like a principal. A principal is like a product owner. So they are aware about what is happening overall, and they also kind of control the class, but then they do not do that directly. They have the Scrum Master in between. And then when you go to inter-school competitions or some major leagues and programs, that time you represent the school. So in that scenario, your principal would be with you to ensure that you are highlighting properly. Even your uh, Scrum Master can also come, but then I mean, school teacher can also come, but the principal is the one who kind of represents the school. So in that scenario, the product owner is the one who represents the entire product backlog. So yes, for some work, for some requirements understanding, we reach out to them. That's why I'm calling him as a principal, because they're aware about the overall bigger picture. Are the roles clear now, Dave, or anyone else who had doubts? Now,
Yeah, you
are
simplified
you
it very beautifully. Thank you for that.
Okay, most welcome. Because see, because there are scenarios wherein many of us have doubts at why there two roles are there. There can be only one role, but no, they have their own set of responsibilities. That's why the bifurcation is required. Yeah. Now let us go to the next slide. Yeah. Can someone read out, please? How do the sprint planning take place? It's very easy to understand. We can just breeze through it. Yeah, go ahead.
A good location for sprint planning is the team room so that you have access to all the information about your product backlog and you can reference and update any information radiators you may use.
Now, this is very easy to understand. What are they saying is that where the team sits, where is a team room, or if you have cubicles, or if there is a conference room, or if there is where the entire team is situated, there having the meeting there makes sense, because then you will have some I would say some useful details available readily with you for discussion. Yes. And by the way, just to note, the Scrum fundamentals have been developed in early 2000s. So that is definitely way prior to COVID time. So that's why, if you just go ahead also with this learning, you will see the focus is on having the team physically present at one location, having the team physically at the similar location. So uh, but nowadays, as we work in widely in international teams, we can connect virtually also, right? So even for the sprint planning, it will be great if the team is situated at one location. But in case we are from different states or different countries, different time zones, That's not an issue. We all can connect on Zoom or any other media, and then we can get started. Yeah. Next point, please.
If your team is distributed, sprint planning represents a good opportunity to gather everyone together so that your planning discussions can be more effective and to reinforce the person to person of team.
Yes. So what it says is that the sprint planning represents a good. It kind of gives a good opportunity for everyone, for all the team members to come together and discuss. So it's like, if assuming we all are development team and, we are being a part of this sprint planning meeting, then where we can discuss that, okay, though we have this product backlog items to be worked upon, but then there are some concerns, there are some observations that we might not be able to complete them because of the complexity, or we might not be able to complete them because there are too large in numbers, and then you might have some people on holidays, on planned leaves and stuff like that. So yes, whatever the situation may be, having everyone around and discussing on that effectively, it makes a lot of sense, and it gives clarity to everyone. Okay, so even in case if we see that some of the things might not be able to complete, or they are out of the scope for this sprint, then the product owner can very well politely go back to the customer and state that, okay, this cannot be completed because the you know team will be busy in other activities, so we can take it up next time. Yes, easy to understand. Any doubt in this? These are like basic facts, like how we kind of conduct a particular situation or particular event. So that's why they're easy to understand as well. Yeah. When does sprint planning take place? Now we know we are doing the planning, but just to understand, when do we take this particular event? Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Sprint planning occurs on the first day of a new sprint. The event should occur after the sprint review and retrospective from the previous sprint so that any output from those discussions can be considered when planning for the new sprint. It does not have to occur immediately after those other two events. You will find it's best to place a higher priority on scheduling sprint planning when the entire team is available.
Yeah. Next point also. Go ahead.
You may find that it's best to have a standing consistent time for sprint planning so that your team can keep that time slot clear from other engagements.
Yes, thank you for reading it out. So what we say is, it should be the first day of the new sprint. So definitely right, because if you're starting something new, so you should have the planning done at the beginning, right? So it's like, when we used to prepare for our school exams, what was the first step of before preparing? Planning, right? Like, if we have, like I was mentioning, if we have 10 subjects and we want to complete all of them, then we will go one by one, one subject at a time, and maybe or some chapters from each subject. So basically planning. So this is the first event, or first step in the I mean, this is the first, at the first day we decide about the planning, or we complete the sprint planning. And then this, what we are saying, that this event occurs after the sprint review and retrospective of the earlier sprint. So yes, when the earlier sprint gets over, their events gets over. After that, we have this event. So it's every new sprint we have sprint planning at the beginning, and then you can also have some gap, some couple of days break before we start with the new sprint, just to ensure that your head is clear and you're ready for the upcoming sprint. And Okay, and we are in the last point. We are saying that we have to give a dedicated time or a planned time to this event so that our team is also available or it is managed. So guys, always remember, it is an event. Okay, a sprint planning is also an important event, and it has to have a dedicated timeline, a dedicated, I would say, duration wherein everyone from the team, especially the development team member, along with the scrum master and product owner, if available, they can come and discuss that, okay, this is the sprint look like, this is a sprint goal, these are the requirements that we need to work on, then how do we complete it. And also, this is a self-driven and highly skilled team. So you don't have to tell them whom to work what. They all know that, okay, I'm a database expert. I will take the database part. I am a designing expert. I'll design the pages or the application. Now the development team, there are two, three developers. They know that, okay, their job is to complete the development. So yes, to ensure all that, we have to have this meeting at the beginning, at the start, wherein as a team, they will understand that what all work items or requirements we need to complete. Yes. So, any doubts on this? It's simply kind of stating when we have to do it and how we have to do it. Yes, guys?
Yes.
Any doubts on this? Simple. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay. Now let us understand the sprint planning meeting checklist from everyone's angle or everyone's perspective, starting with the Scrum Master, then the product owner, and then the development team. Okay. So from each person's or each team's angle, what are the checklists or what are the important points mentioned? What are their to-dos in the sprint planning meeting? Okay. So can one person read out the Scrum Master points, please? And
Scrum
also if
Master.
they could, yeah, give me a second. And also if they could elaborate in their words what they feel like, because it's very easy. It's basically to do things from everyone. So you can read out and you can explain and try to explain in your own words as well. Go ahead.
Scrum Master, facilitator, video conference, screen share and or Polycon access information setup and shared. Schedule meeting space, prepare and publish agenda, check calendars for company holidays, training events, travel and employee time off. For tactile artifacts, replenish supplies of markers, post-its, 3x5 cards, pens, pins, etc. So basically, Scrum Master is the person who will facilitate the sprint. So he will make sure that the video conference, the room, everything is set up for facilitating this meeting. And then he makes sure that the meeting space is available for this meeting. He will prepare the checklist and publish the agenda. And then he will make sure that it's not a holiday or there are no any time events or any employee has taken time off during this meeting, and make sure that all the supplies for the meeting are replenished.
Very well explained. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Very well explained. So yes, guys, these things might sound very simple or to an extent silly. That okay, what's the big deal about having markers in the room and checking the I would say vacation, why it is required. No, it is required. It is, I would say, very important because uh in in which scenario then you will understand that we need to complete we need to have a complete attendance, see now today, just for the information purpose, in India we have Janmashtami, so many people might be on leave for that. In UK there is a bank holiday, so there might be and people who might not definitely not be working today. So in such a scenario, when you have a diverse team, or maybe in interstate team, intercontinental teams, or inter country teams, we need to ensure the availability of all the team members. So that's why checking calendars and checking the availability is very important. Yes.
Prerna, I have a
Along
question.
with, yeah, go ahead.
What is Polygon access information?
Polygon access information generally means if we have some, I would say, video conferencing. Yes. So
Uh-huh.
that kind of setup you have in the conference room, that information, or like how I shared this meeting invite over Zoom to you, over WhatsApp before starting the meeting. So share those meeting invites to the to the intended audience. So it's
Okay.
like, for example, we have the meeting. So we had this session today. So even I had shared the same meeting invite yesterday, beforehand. But before this meeting, again, I reshared it just in case somebody missed in the chat. So same way, when you are inviting all these people, you have to ensure that you are giving all the access details. So have you attended a Zoom meeting prior to this?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so what all we have? So we have the meeting link, we have the password. So same way, we also can have the meeting on Zoom or on Link or any other, I would say, software. So give those details. If it is a virtual meeting, in case if it is a actual meeting, people are physically coming in, then we need to ensure that we have that much big conference room booked. We have all the people who are coming, they should be aware about the conference room, that okay, this floor, this conference room. So that's why I'm saying that these things might sound very simple or too silly to an extent, but they are very practical. And also having all the suppliers in the room, because when we are sitting and discussing, we have having brainstorming session, that time, all the having the markers, or no pens and all the stationery, that really is required. So that is also job of the Scrum Master. Yeah. Guys, any question in this, any doubt in this, Scrum Master?
No.
Okay. Can I request someone to read out the product owner part, please?
Product owner. Ensure backlog item candidates are ready according to the team's definition or ready. If a definition of ready exists for the team, make sure the skills and capabilities of team members are known and are generally aligned with the needs of the backlog item candidates for the sprint. So the product owner decides, like he prioritized the uh, features, the items in the backlog, the product backlog, and he'll make sure that the team is capable and have got the skills to complete the tasks. And yeah, that's
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you so much for reading it out. Yes. So what does the product owner ensure that that the all the work items are ready and they are prioritized? So ready means, guys, as we mentioned earlier, it's like your entire year syllabus should be present with you, and from that we have to decide, okay, for this unit test or for this particular sprint, we will take out this item. So first of all the requirements, those should be ready, those should be available with the product owner, and also uh, aligned to the needs of the backlog items. That means whatever work items or requirements we have, we need to ensure that those are aligned with the skills and the capabilities of the team. That means, uh, to start with, to begin with, we should have the team members do have these requirements and skills. Like, for example, as I mentioned, so if the project is on .NET, then we should definitely have .NET developers in the team, to start with. If we have, some, I would say, uh, database driven work, then we should have some database experts in our team. Yes. So similar way, we will have these kind of matching. We should have this kind of matching wherein if we are working in a particular skill set, then we should have that kind of yes. So basically, we need to ensure that the requirements and the skill set matches. Okay. So it's like if someone asks to tell cook your biryani, if someone tells you to cook a biryani, then as a person, you should know what all ingredients you put in biryani and how to cook it. Like as simple as that. So same way, if we are planning to cook a biryani in this sprint, as in if you're planning to implement something in this sprint, so we need to ensure that we have those kind of skill sets available. Can you map this? Yes. Any doubts in this?
So, Prerna, if there is a
Mm.
change in the requirement, do they
Mm-hmm.
basically add or remove somebody from the team?
See, to be very honest, it's not that drastic. Removing is generally, I mean, unless there is a performance issue or somebody actually leaves the organization or something like that, but then generally the addition happens because see, as we have learned, this is a very highly talented and skilled team. Okay. So their removal is generally not happens. Addition might happen depending on the skills required. Like I was just saying that imagine if you need something for a very niche skill which is not available in the current team, then yes, definitely they will add on. And also in the first point, we have mentioned that according to the team's definition, or ready of the definition of ready exists for the team. That means all the work items that are with the product owner, those should be ordered, those should be prioritized, those should be as per the customer requirements. And then as a team, we can discuss that, okay, customer wants this kind of development, these are their requirements, and then we can pick up from them. So that's why the product owner should always have the up to dated backlog items or product backlog list wherein as per the customer demands, all the requirements are mentioned. Yes. So any
Yes.
doubt in product owner's checklist, guys?
No.
No. Thank you so much. So can we move to the next part, development team?
Update the team's definition of done as needed and make sure it is easy to reference during the meeting. During the
Mm-hmm.
sprint meeting, the development team will plan what to work and how much time it takes to complete it. That is what they say the definition. I mean the of done.
So definition of done. Can anyone just throw some light on this terminology? What we mean by definition of done?
Uh,
In your
the
own words, yeah.
what needs to be
Yes.
achieved. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
What?
the BAs, the QAs, and the developer, all the team members. So these are, I believe, that's the development team, not only developer. And definition of done is like what needs to be achieved or what needs to be done. I That's what I
What
understood.
needs to be completed that we can say that it is done, right? So
Yes.
it's basically means to ensure that we complete the functionality or to ensure that we finish our work completely, what needs to be done. So an earlier example which we had wherein we were developing a sports section in the bigger website. So to complete that development, what all requirements we need to complete, what all requirements we have to to consider what kind of functionalities we need to finish, what kind of technical, I would say, challenging, complex logic we need to build. So that all, having completed means definition of done. So it's like
So
done
can we
means,
say
done
this
and
is the
dusted. We
sprint
use
goal?
no, sprint goal. See, my sprint goal can be allowing customers to pay, or allowing customers to, I would say, make payment. But for that making payment, first and foremost thing is I need to have a login for this application or website. Yes. And after login, the customer should be able to search for their products. Once the customer searches for the product, then they should be able to add to the cart. Once they add to the cart, then they should have the choice to have multiple payment methods. And once they choose a particular payment method, then they will be able to pay. So you see, to reach to that sprint goal, how many requirements I had to finish? Did you get the understanding?
Mhm.
My sprint goal is very simple, make payment. But even to make payment, prior to that, I have to go through even so many steps or requirements prior to that, right? So that's why sprint goal is generally very simply or clearly mentioned, but for that, we have a lot of supporting activities, okay, which are also part of the entire sprint. Make sense, guys? Yes. Yes. So that's why it means the team should be very clear about their work and their definition of done. That means what all they should be completing in this coming sprint. Okay. So now, just for today, we will take a pause here because there are some new concepts, and I want you to have that in your memory fresh and understand it them well, and we can continue. We will rather continue tomorrow. And before we take a pause, I just wanted to take a quick attendance and also a feedback, like how we have in other sessions. So as Dave is joining us for the first time, let me give him some understanding. So Dave, here we work on, as I mentioned, it's a discussion. It's not a monologue. It's like we like everyone to speak up and discuss and have their doubts. And also towards the end of the session, we ask for a feedback. It can be anything that you felt during the session. You liked it, you wanted more explanation, or you were happy. So whatever that comes to your mind. So I'll start with others so you can understand what you have to say. And also this acts as a attendance for us to know who has been present and who has been attentive in the session. So yes, I'll just quickly start. So yeah, Saundarya, you have been quite active today. So can you just share your feedback for today's session before we end?
It was very interactive. The session was very interactive.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we move to Darshan? Yeah, Darshan, you
Yes,
can unmute.
the
Yeah.
session is very detailed and also very interested.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Darshan. Yeah. Can we have Nagi? Nagi, you can unmute.
So this was my second session, and I felt more comfortable. I could grasp
Oh, great.
a lot more when compared to the previous one.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. And this
Priyanka.
is this is by the way is gonna be the pattern. In the first session, everything is alien to you as a concept, even as a session mates, and even as a trainers. It's your first, I would say, face off. And then as and when you keep joining our subsequent sessions, and this is for everyone, by the way. So you get more and more comfortable. You get used to the teaching method, and you get used to the concepts also. So you get more comfortable. So thank you for sharing this, Nagi. Moving on to Madhavan. Yes, Madhavan.
This is Shruti actually. Yeah, it
Okay,
was a
Shruti.
it
Sure.
was a good revising session. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So now over to you, Dave. What do you feel like in today's session? Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that my teacher is not mean. You're you're very nice, and you simplify
Thank you.
things in a way that a person who does not have any IT knowledge whatsoever understands it. uh, as I said, I
Okay.
went to YouTube videos, but I kind of found it
Mm-hmm.
really boring at the end, like after 45 minutes. However, in today's
Mm-hmm.
discussion, being more
Mm-hmm.
participant uh, made me more interesting to to know
Mm-hmm.
further. So as I said,
Mm-hmm.
I will explore. Maybe in next couple sessions, I would be able to interact more and give you my feedbacks. Today only, I only question, like I only ask questions because a
That's
lot
fine.
of
That's absolutely
yeah,
fine.
lot of words are
That is
not
why
clear.
we are
But I'm
here to
very
answer
happy.
that. Yeah.
Yes, but thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Thank you so
uh,
much.
if I ask you questions, please don't mind. I'm not trying to waste anyone's time. Just trying to understand more.
No, Dave, this
Yes.
is the platform. That's why in the beginning only I had cleared that that is the reason we don't give you recordings. Otherwise, we can very well play the same recording and just give you the YouTube link, like how you have the thousands and so many videos lying on internet on YouTube. So why the reason that this is more important because it is interactive and it is not wasting anybody's time. See, I'm glad that you have the courage and you have the interest to ask question. Somebody might not be that confident to speak up and ask all the doubts, and they also might have the same feeling that okay, I'm wasting somebody else's time. But no, this is the platform wherein you come up with your doubts and your questions, and you get the clarity. And we also learn from you that okay, these kind of questions arise in your mind, so that we can prepare ourselves as trainers to answer them well. Okay. So don't have that question in your mind that I'm wasting time. No, this is actually helping everyone as a team. Okay. So thank you so much for your feedback, and
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for your honest opinions. And this is how we grow. Uh, in subsequent sessions. So we have a lot of fun activities also. We have some fun games towards the end of the session. We have some projects. We have a lot of involvement. But for Chandrik assignment, what we request you is to make some smaller 1 or 2 minutes videos when you talk about the recent topics that we have taught, like today, how we learned about what is the checklist for planning, the sprint planning meeting, or what are the involvements from all the team and stuff like that. So whatever you have learned till now, you can just have your notes in front of you, or you can have the screen in front of you and just record yourself. And why do we give this assignment? Because it definitely improves a lot of interpersonal skills and a lot of presentation skills, because you're speaking on camera. So ensure that there's decent light and you're properly dressed. And then the use of these videos is we make these videos and we compile them and we put them on Guru School's YouTube channel. And then because you have your face and your name and your details on it, and you're speaking about a particular topic, your profile is directly kind of advertised to the wide audience, especially to the HRs who are checking out the Guru School's channel. Okay. So how it helps is, first of all, it helps you to build confidence. It helps you to increase your or enhance your presentation skills, and along with that, you yourself is kind of showcased to the wider audience, to the HR of all the other companies, who can just directly look at you and see, oh, this is the candidate who is working on this, or who is studying this, who has knowledge. So that's why it is very helpful. So please take this exercise in just 1 or 2 minutes. It won't even take more than 10 minutes of your time if you sit and do it properly. So I'll encourage you to make this assignment and share on a group. We already have some videos. Thank you so much for sharing them. And please making such videos that really boosts our confidence also as trainers. And guys, thank you so much for your time. You have been your interaction really means a lot to us. So thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. And if you have any further doubts in between, please feel free to message or mention them in the group. Yeah. So thank you so much. We are ending today's session. Good night. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye. Good
Bye
night.
bye. Yeah, good night.
Sleep well. Good night. Bye.